Welcome everybody. My name is Michael and today we are discussing about yesterday's update. It was the big day, 28th of July, and that was when the report came out that yes, technically, due to the old definition, because politicians are now changing the definition, I guess, as we go, the recession is here, as we assumed many weeks back, that after the second quarter of negative growth, the recession is officially here. However, politicians are kind of moving the goalposts, saying, you know what, there's still a ton of job offers out there, and the economy's not doing that bad. It's just a little bit here and there, a little bit of slower growth, and really, no, that's not the case. No matter how you word it, we are in a recession, and things are pretty bad. And when we take a look at inflation, right now it's actually kind of a weird point where people don't know what to do, and that's why the crypto market is actually up and Bitcoin's approaching $24,000, but there's nothing to be delighted about. This is temporary and the effects are still kind of sinking in, and these are not going to be, oh well, it's just going to be a couple weeks and then everything's going to turn around. No, this is something that will have lasting consequences for the next couple of years. So good thing is, yes, we're at $1.1 trillion market cap. There's been some gains recently, a little bit of hope. But when we take a look at the past year, there was multiple studies done, and this is based off of June because July is still not over yet. But the average American family is spending more money. This is a well-known fact. Obviously, you're paying more at the gas station, you're paying more for used cars, you're buying stuff at the grocery store, it costs you a lot more, but how much more are you paying? We know that some months it's over 9% inflation, but what does that really mean? Well, looks like the average American family is spending $5,915 more than they would have last year, which is absolutely crazy to consider. And it's really easy to really look at that number and say, yeah, that really does make sense. So we're taking a look at a lot of products here, around 45 products that have gone up in price over the past 12 months. We're looking at 9.1% inflation, and some of these things, it's automatic. I work in car sales, and it's obviously been a tougher year right now. Every month is supposed to be better, but it is not that great right now. In the summertime, this isn't a normal summer. You have less customers coming in, and part of the reason for that is, first of all, if you're financing, you have higher interest rates, and it's not by 1% or 2%. Sometimes you drive on the highway, and the same rates that you see for mortgages are similar to what you see in car sales, and that's because the Fed has updated their interest rates yet again, so they're hiking it up by another 75 basis points. So when you take a look at this, and you see 5.6, 5.7% for excellent credit. Consider that most people don't have excellent credit and they have fair to good credit, and some people are easily paying 10%, 15% interest right now. For cars, for mortgages, it's a little bit better. But this is really insane when you spread that out over 6, 7 years, maybe even 8 for cars, for mortgages, 30 plus years. Now, these are insane things. Interest rates going up, the prices of products, cars, houses, everything's going up. Demand is very high, supply is scarce, logistics problems all over the board. You have gas, which obviously the gas prices impact logistics, which gets passed down onto the consumer. Everything is going up, from utilities to rent to prices of every single thing you use. So let's take a look. For example, travel. If you're speaking about cars, new cars and used cars, this is just averages. But before, last year, an average new car, $18,229. Now it's $20,425. An average used car sale was $8,035. Now it's $8,480. A full gas tank was $49.46, and I'm sure we've all seen some crazy prices. Right around here, it's close to 80, 90, sometimes $100 for regular gas, which is insane. Now a full gas tank average across all the states is $75.87. A set of new car tires before $262.33, now it's $304. A typical hotel from $112.83 to $125. Airfare from New York City to Miami from $119.65 to $178. A bus fare from New York City to Washington, D.C. from $30.35 to $39. Okay, all right, so travel, not everybody's traveling right now apart from using a car to get to work and back. Well, what about the grocery store? Okay, so in June 2022, for coffee you're paying $5.79, where before it was $4.70. For bread you're paying $1.69 compared to $1.54. Chicken per pound you have $1.83 compared to $1.46. Ground beef $5 compared to $4.61. Oranges $1.60 compared to $1.38. Milk $4.15 compared to $3.62. Eggs $2.71 compared to $1.67. The list goes on. You have so many groceries that the prices of them have gone considerably up. Householders in America are spending nearly $493 more per month to buy the exact same items they were buying a year ago. So the average household is making close to $60,000 a year. The median household income in America as of right now is $67,521. These times are tough compared to your grandparents in the 1980s when you could buy a house and car for a lot less and make a lot more. The rate of inflation is beating everything else. Investments aren't able to keep up, your normal investments. Crypto maybe, of course, but you've got a lot of risk. So you've got groceries, food, alcohol's gone up. Baby food has probably gone up the most, from $12.14 to $13.84. Beer went from $15.60 to $15.98. Chardonnay from $12.94 to $12.99. Tomatoes actually went down by 2 cents. Wow. When we take a look at jewelry or suits or clothing, you have men's suits that went up from $267.34 to $349. Cocktail dresses from $44.20 to $45.99. Shampoo from $6.23 to $6.50. A manicure from $23.89 to $25. A men's watch has actually gone down a little bit, but this is for the lower price watch. When you take a look at the luxury watches, some of them, like Patek Philippe's and Rolexes, have doubled or tripled in value, which is absolutely insane on the secondary market. Dry cleaning has gone up. When we take a look at household materials, such as a flat screen TV, that's actually gone down, but flat screen TVs, some electronics such as laptops and phones, now that we're past the initial hump of the shortage, some pieces of electronics are actually being discounted to try and lure customers back in, but this is temporary, so we might see these prices go back down again. You have couches that have gone up from $400.99 to $462. A flat pack bed from $273 to $299. You have taking a look at utilities. Gas bills have gone up from $53.41 to $85. Electric bills from $144.84 to $160. When we take a look at movie tickets, from $10.50 to $11. Algebra textbooks, $17.66 to $17.98. Food, dog food, $21.03 to $22.98. Glasses, $143 to $145. Set of Monopoly from $14.56 to $14.99. Cigarettes from $8.90 to $9.49 for a pack. So the prices themselves, we could just go through an endless list where it doesn't really mean much. You know that it's going up. But when we take a look at percentage, gasoline jumped up by 60%, airfares by 34.1%, eggs by 33.1%, margarine 34.5%, chicken almost 19%. When you take a look at these percentage, these are much higher than inflation. Some of them double, triple, quadruple, 10x. And for the month of July, we know that in some of these categories, it's gone even worse than some of the stuff that was back in June. And potentially for the month of August, what we're going into, for some things still, there's supply shortages, there's logistical concerns and costs that are being passed down along the line, and us as the consumers, we have to pay for this. The average family cannot afford this. So what's the average family to do? Well, they just can't. They can't spend their money on certain things anymore. They have to give up certain entertainment, certain things like travel, and maybe reduce their grocery bill. But about a third of American families have upped their credit card usage, and there will be some repossessions and bankruptcies probably a year or two down the line. People just can't afford it. They're going into debt to be able to pay for their normal utility bills. They're not squandering money. I mean, maybe some are, but most people just don't have money. People in very hot states right now aren't able to afford air conditioning. People aren't visiting loved ones as much because of high gas prices. 2/3 of Americans have changed their motoring habits to reduce travel right now. Inflation is the top issue for 24% of Americans. Rising prices were far ahead of pretty much everything else, jobs and the economy at 12%. A lot of people just can't afford life right now. So the Fed announced on Wednesday that it would increase interest rates by 0.75%, pumping the total Fed interest rate to 2.33%. Right now, the central bank is trying to control inflation. This rate hike will go across for all loans out there. Anything from mortgages, credit cards, personal loans, car payments, everything will go up. And right now, most likely a couple percentage, as we've already seen. And it's most likely, at this rate, going to continue to grow. So when we take a look at the GDP, it shrank 0.9% in the second quarter, following a decline of 1.6% drop in the first quarter. Another inflation measure, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, soared 6.8% in the 12 months through June. This is the biggest increase since January 1982. And when we take a look at the official announcement of the recession, there came out a report regarding GDP growth marking a technical recession. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis published what I just discussed, the 0.9% fall, opposed to what economists expected would be a 0.5% increase. The report explained that the decrease in real GDP reflected decreases in private inventory investment, residential fixed investment, federal government spending, state and local government spending, and non-residential fixed investments that were partly offset by increases in exports and personal consumption expenditures. On the other hand, though, the White House press secretary Jean-Pierre discarded claims that White House officials are redefining recession, while she redefined why 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth does not qualify as a recession. Furthermore, the White House website even changed the definition of recession ahead of the event from it being 2 consecutive quarters of GDP contraction to saying that the 2-quarter rule is actually incorrect. So we're spending thousands more than we anticipated. And in some careers, we're earning less than we anticipated. One of them is definitely sales, because especially if you're selling luxury vehicles, all of these events are sparking fear. And even if not all of this fear is rational in some cases, people just don't want to buy something that they're worried what happens next year if, the markets get even worse and my investments disappear completely and I just bought a luxury car, I'll lose a lot of money. They don't want to do that. So there's tons of industries that are being affected, and obviously car sales is one of them. Some people are making all the money right now, others are losing a lot of money. We have less customers coming in, and that's normal. And probably the opportunity cost was thousands of dollars as well. So I definitely see how this 5,915 number came up. Just in gas alone, I'm spending hundreds more every month, really. So not great at all. Rent prices are insane right now. There's a ton of stuff that we just avoid at the grocery store. It's too expensive. And we're nowhere near done. So kind of a depressing time right now. All we have is hope. Thanks for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day, and take care. We shall get through this. And to all the recession deniers out there, well, let's just wait and see. Have a good one.